We're Jinx and Tuner, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
I'm only slightly awake.
Yeah, he just woke up. I've been awake for like 2 hours. 2 hours.
By the way, do you know what Sayu's passive is?
Yeah, the geoflies don't leave, and animals don't leave.
Until you start picking him up. Yeah.
So that way, you can sneaky beaky.
Sneaky breaky grab all the flies.
Yeah. No, sneaky beaky like.
How deep into this can I go? Yep. Okay.
Would you just like instantly sink it?
Yep. As soon as you hit like water that's deep enough for that you have to swim, she stops spinning. Unless you cryo infuse her E, in which case you can just zoom over the water.
So wait, hold on, come here. So what if I do like
Make an ice puddle? I'm not sure if I can pick it up or not. Nope, can't pick it. Nope,
no,
can't
you
pick
were
it up.
cryo infused. Oh no, you were hydro infused. Never mind.
No, it's hydro infused because I was wet.
Yeah, I saw the blue, but it was dark blue. It wasn't light blue.
Yeah, you probably have to like drop like a you probably have to drop like a Diona ult or something.
No, you know, that's an issue I have with this game. Is that the two fat cryo, or like the two fat Fatui, are blue and light blue, and sometimes, like initially, I get confused which one is which. Because
LOL.
they're the same fucking color.
LOL.
It was an issue. It was an issue because there was an Inazuma thing in the area where it's always raining, and it spawned like two hydro Fatui and a cryo
in
Fatui.
the raining areas, it does get a little hard to tell because of the color.
And I could not figure out which one was which until all of a sudden I was perma-frozen. And I couldn't do anything about it.
That's funny.
And I jump and I instantly get frozen. I jump and I instantly get frozen. And I'd throw down a fucking Bennett ult and it didn't matter because there was enough rain to overpower the pyro aura. It was just terrible.
L-O, furthermore L.
Everything's terrible. So,
I guess normally this is the part where we thank like Zaxton Hong for the timestamps, but the last podcast episode isn't actually out yet as of recording this podcast episode.
Zaxton, you better do it, because we're gonna thank you anyway.
It's probably safe to assume Zaxton's going to do the timestamp, so thank you. Zaxton.
I honestly don't think we thanked him in the last one. I think we skipped over it. I feel like we skipped.
Did we?
I feel like
we did.
I don't know. Either way, thank you for your service.
All right, get over here, motherfucker. Get over here, motherfucker. So, you stopped picking him up. I was waiting for us to both be here so we could.
I was already in here.
Damn it. All right, well, fine. You get your crystal flies.
Wait, these are my crystal flies, you fucking dick.
All right, so.
Yoimiya is a thing that exists in the game now.
So I mean, I've been like looking over some of like TC chats about it, and I chatted with Artesians about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And the reality is there isn't actually that much like theory crafting and testing work done on Yoimiya because no one wants to pull for her.
Oof.
Like Kaching Main's theory crafting team, like Art's team that normally does all the theory crafting, literally one person has pulled for Yoimiya.
Wow.
So like, I mean, there's been some math done on her. There's been some whale tests done on her and whatnot, because you know there are whales who like always pull for C6 everything.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, so far pretty much like a conclusion has been she's so-so. Yeah, she's like so-so. She's not terrible. Like, she's not like worthless or anything. Which is what a lot of people seem to be like saying on the interwebs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But her personal damage is like okay. Her being locked into single target is a huge problem.
Uh-huh.
Definitely, because like all of her damage basically is single target.
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge problem because even Hu Tao, who is mostly single target, her single target cannot be single target with like enough positional play.
Right.
And there's just no way for her normal attack spam to not be single target.
What about with like Beidou though?
Well, that's the thing. She is a really good driver. That's the kind of unit she is.
Right.
Like she is a unit who is designed to drive basically to like maximize a Beidou and a Jingqiu.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is a really good driver for normal attacks for normal attack enhancers, namely Beidou. So like her teams aren't necessarily strong because of her. They're strong because she makes Beidou so strong.
Right.
And like oh no, I'm poisoned. And like Jingqiu on her isn't actually that bad because even though her normal attacks don't hit that hard, with the way ICD works and her combo, if you spam out her combo, like her N5 combo, her full N5 combo from start to finish, and the first hit is like your initial hit for the first hit of Pyro, then you end up vaporizing her fifth attack because she hits twice on the first one, then hits once, then hits twice again, and hits once, and hits once.
Nice, and because that's like 170.
Yeah. So hit 7, yeah, and it's like a 150 MV at like talent 6.
Yeah, it's a chunky
goes
boy.
up obviously. So like that's the chunky hit. So in a full N5, your last hit will vaporize and deal pretty chunky damage. Like it's not like Hu Tao charge attack chunky because at T6 Hu Tao's charge attack is like 260 or something. And it's like probably around like as hard as you expect like a Diluc E to hit or something. But it's not a bad hit. The problem with that is if you ever get interrupted, you're fucked.
Right.
Like, if you ever get interrupted from your N5 combo, you get fucked. Not because you have to reset your combo necessarily, but because your ICD gets thrown off.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, the way it works is your first hit vaporizes, your fourth hit vaporizes, your seventh hit vaporizes. But if you're on your fifth hit and then have to dodge and start attacking again, suddenly now instead your seventh hit is gonna be your second N5 combos. Your seventh hit is gonna be your N5 combos. Your next N5 combo's second hit. Then your fifth hit's gonna vaporize, and then your seventh hit, which is your big chunky one, isn't going to vaporize because no ICD. So, like, because of that, it seems like she pretty heavily wants to have a shield character with her.
Mm-hmm.
In order for her to be able to consistently vaporize that hit.
Right.
So, like, you want, like, a Zhongli or Diona or something with her for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then, probably Diona, just because, like, I mean, you can run Bennett obviously instead, but it is nice you do generally want to run both Jingqiu and Beidou with her,
right?
Because you know Jingqiu enables her to vape, and then she's a good enabler for Beidou.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like she's a good driver character. She's also, from what like a lot of the whales have said, she's really consistent. Because she's like mechanically very easy to maximize and easy to play. There was one where I can't remember the name, but they were basically saying that like from running her repeatedly in the Abyss, it feels like it's doesn't feel like he can push his times any faster, but he hits his fast times very, very easily.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Boo? No. Jenny is walking out from the shower, so she wanted to make sure I wasn't on camera. So like because her entire playstyle is literally go in, press E, spam M1 on things till you hit a 5-hit combo, and the only kind of positional play you have to make sure of is that you're positioned in a way so you don't auto-target other targets than the one you want to hit. Like she's very easy to maximize.
Right.
And like that 7th shot in her combo can hit pretty hard. I've seen like 120k shots coming out of
that's what people are throwing up on their quick dates.
Yeah,
implying that's the norm, not the.
I mean, mind you, a big part of that is having an R5 Thundering Pulse. Like Thundering Pulse really boosts that hit, and then having a Bennett with like a 48 base weapon and like C5 and everything, and Yoimiya having having all the constellations and everything. Like a normal Yoimiya is probably hitting like 20k, 30k on that shot instead, with like a 5-star weapon. But regardless, point is she's not terrible. The thing we talked about in the last podcast is a thing though, which is just going like, because they made her a pyro character, she's inevitably going to be compared to Xiangling.
Yeah.
Which is where the problem kind of falls off. Like Xiangling cannot be a Beidou driver. Xiangling is not really going to be a Beidou driver. But in terms of a vaporized team, Xiangling's just better, and she's a free 4-star. So like, inevitably in comparisons, people are gonna compare them, and that's unfortunate because I honestly think if they had made her like an Electro character or something, she'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Like if her exact same kit was like Electro, she'd be a lot better because she could, enable EM based reactions on other teammates or something like that. Possibly have slightly higher base values and not use up the same teammates that you want to stick with, like a Xiangling or a Hu Tao or something.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if she was an Electro, then you could use Xiangling with her.
Yeah, exactly. You could use Xiangling with her, and run like an Electro off battery team or something for her. But like, in AOE situations, and she forced short of Hu Tao, like period. So, because like I think I want people to keep in mind with like the impressive 120k shots Yoimiya is doing with an R5 Thundering Pulse. Chad's C3 Hu Tao with an R5 Homa hits 140k charge attacks every time. Per charge attack.
Yeah, and it's like my Bennett. People are always like, "What the fuck with your Bennett?" Because I hit like 50 to 80k E's on a 2-second cooldown. It's like, yeah. So like 100k every 12 seconds isn't a big number.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, people always say that Xiangling is better than Hu Tao. I've seen calcs that show that. I've never actually seen a play test of a Xiangling out DPSing a whale Hu Tao. But I think that's the big difference is Homa.
Yeah.
Because like Xiangling doesn't get that much extra damage out of a 5-star weapon. Hu Tao and Ganyu get like fucking 30% damage increases from their best 5-star weapon.
Right, because they have more base stats. That crit is going a lot farther.
Well, not just because they have base stats, it's because the weapons are tailor-made for them.
Well,
the passives are tailor-made for them.
Yeah, that too.
Because for every 5-star unit, a 5-star weapon is going to give them more base stats and more crit, and therefore higher multiplier because they have higher base stats. But like the fact that the passive is tailor-made for them adds that extra little pinch that pushes their DPS profile a lot higher than other weapons do. Like Ammo's bow is tailor-made for Ganyu because her bloom always gets an extra 3 seconds, I think it is, of bloom damage of Ammo's passive damage on the bloom. And like Hu Tao, obviously the Hu Tao passive is like built for Hu Tao. The Homa passive is built for Hu Tao. So like they just get so much damage out of it. But I don't know. Xiangling in AoE situations definitely will have an edge over Hu Tao, though, assuming your ult isn't able to like one-shot things. But yeah, shrug. Yoimiya, good driver. If you care about power level, she's not a good pick. But if you do like her, because you like her aesthetics, you like her personality, she's a waifu or whatever, like there are ways to make her work. And she definitely can work.
I was honestly like I feel like you're making it sound like she's just super, super, super bad. Or at least like it sounds like it's coming across that way. I mean, this character is still like going to clear Abyss if you invest in them and build a team around them. It's not like it,
Yes. Depends on how invested your Beidou is, honestly.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not like this character is just gonna not do anything ever. I mean,
yeah. The thing I always think about is how much better of a driver than these things is she than, like, say, a Bennett.
Yeah. No.
Than like a 40th Bennett or something,
Bennett's Bennett.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess my point is like if you are the kind of person that just wants to play this character because you like this character, then
Yeah, she's
you're,
like
you're
that's
not.
what. Yeah.
You could still clear the abyss with her, and you can.
She's
still
still
do,
gonna work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
She's still gonna work. Assuming they don't make any like abyss with like assuming she doesn't have to necessarily run into abyss with a really high target count. In which case like it's literally all Beidou doing the work.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean if your Beidou has a leveled up serpent spine and a good set.
Look. All I'm
then,
saying is I used Jean. I used Jean Beidou official.
Jean as a
Xingqiu.
Beidou driver. Yeah,
I used Jean as a Beidou driver, and
Yeah,
Yanfei's gonna work better than Jean.
Oh, Yoimiya. Yeah, Yoimiya is gonna work better than Jean. Yeah. Oh, then yeah, exactly.
Well, Yanfei
so,
would probably work better than Jean too. That is also an accurate statement.
Yes.
So like yeah, the character
Also-
might not be good, but like if you like the character, just use the character. It's fine.
Yeah. Just know that she is going to take more. Her teams are going to take more investment for like not 12-star clears than say a Ganyu or a Hu Tao or a Xiao or something like that.
Right.
Like she is gonna take more work than those guys.
Look, sometimes you got to put in a little extra work for the ones you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Do she got the booty? She do. I don't know. I think people mostly talk about Yoimiya's booba.
Yeah,
Aw,
it's
shit.
because it's hanging out. Wait, shit.
I should have waited.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It rolled into the nether.
Yeah, I watched
gone.
I watched the trailer on stream, and like they introduce her character, and like they do this shot where like it's just chest down, and she like swings into the shot, and like it just
Woo-wah.
woo. Just like
I mean, they're really laying on the booba. Like we got Yoimiya, and then we got Baal coming out, and Baal literally has a booba sword.
Yeah.
She literally pulls her katana out of her chest.
Yeah. Fucking. Just like, all right.
So yeah, they're really laying on the booba waifu picks right now.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
will always be the thigh dominator.
yup.
This is
But
the
yeah.
only thigh waifu we've ever gotten was Eula. Maybe Beidou.
Mona's never been on banners, so yeah. Mona's always the one people talk about ass the most, which I think is mostly just because of her outfits really highlighting her butt.
Yeah, but see, like that's butt. It's not thighs. And that's a
not
completely
thigh.
different thing.
Fair. You're talking about thigh waifu.
Yeah, we were talking about
Thaifu.
thighs. Thaifu.
A thaifu.
Yes, a thaifu.
Gotcha.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, a thaifu.
Gotcha.
I feel like I need
Okay,
to get.
yes.
I feel like I need to get a glass of wine. You see, the thighs
Thighs.
are more exceptional than the buttocks because.
By the way, did you see that? Did you see what Sayu just did?
No.
Sayu's E, like her like second E, which is whirlwind kick, into an N3 combo leaves the fucking crystal with 1% HP.
Oh, I see.
It's such a fucking troll. Look at this shit.
Well. What?
I must have ticked on it one extra time with my spin.
Oh, so your E is actually like. Oh, I guess
It's a continual hit. It's a continual hit thing. So like if I tick on it a few extra times, then it's fine. But if you like see? 1% HP. It's such a fucking troll.
That's funny. Speaking of Sayu.
Yeah, Sayu, who is the much more interesting character to me this
Sayu did not
match.
power creep Jean.
Nope.
Sayu did not power creep Jean.
Sayu did not power creep Jean. She doesn't really provide a kind of utility that Jean doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is like what made Diona power creep Chi-Chi, right?
Right.
Was the fact that Chi-Chi provided a utility. Chi-Chi doesn't have enough utility compared to Diona, and
Right.
at some point the healing is whatever. I mean,
Right.
it's similar with Sayu. Sayu's healing isn't as strong as Jean's, but like at some point of investments and like play skill, that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. At some point, you have enough healing that it doesn't matter that
Yeah.
one person has enough healing. You're just healed.
Yep, but like, so like, if we like put them in the same role, which is like an Animo quick swap sort of thing, right?
Yep.
Sayu's actually surprisingly not that bad, because when you do a hold E into a tap E and do an elemental infuse, you're hitting about 450, 460% at T6. With like 100 of that being the element damage and the rest being and the rest being Animo damage.
Right.
So it's like not really that far behind Jean, although Jean has better base stats.
Right.
In terms of, and that's a 6-second cooldown. So it's really not that different compared to Jean. I'm pretty sure Sayu's ult does more damage than Jean's, but don't quote me on that. I haven't actually run numbers. I would assume it does because it's a turret.
What? Well, I guess. Do you have it invested at all?
You know what? Actually, yeah, I got T6 on it yesterday.
Oh, shit,
Let's
never
see.
mind. I'm T9. Never mind.
I got a T6 Jean. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I brought her past that.
Okay.
Yeah, T6 Jean is 595%, and Sayu's Daruma is 164 and 73 per shot.
How many shots?
I forget. I think it's 6 or 7. Is it 7 or 6? I think it's 6.
You said 73 per shot?
73 per shot.
And then what was the initial?
164.
Okay, that puts it at 602 if it is.
602? Yeah, so it's basically the same damage.
Yeah. But also,
now
you
it
don't
it
have
being
to
a
keep
turret.
people next to turrets, so it's all burst up front.
Yeah, but also the turret will be dealing more damage due to swirls.
Well, hold on.
No,
hold on. Let me think about this for a second, because Jean's shit pulses and swirls afterwards.
Huh? It only swirls if you have an element on yourself or they enter or leave the field.
So if they exit or leave it, though,
yeah, if they're standing in it with an element, if the enemies are standing in her ult with an enemy on it, it doesn't pulse. You're probably just used to it pulsing because you run Bennett.
True.
Yeah. Which grows double healer. But
well, no, I would actually. I'm used to it pulsing because Beto probably, but
Beto shouldn't make it pulse.
You electro yourself.
Yeah, but only when you're parrying. Like only when you're holding your parry.
I guess I just notice it pulsing.
Truck. Yeah, her ult does not like actively pulse and swirl enemies.
Well, it's like it's gonna pulse when Xingqiu does his E.
Yes.
And then it's gonna pulse when I go in and do Beidou's
parry. Yeah.
Parry. So I guess I'm just noticing it pulse several times.
Yeah, I get you. But either way, Sayu's ult swirls 7 or 8 times. I can't remember how many times it shoots. I think it's 6, but so it swirls that many times. It does have the issue where it works like until you get C1, it works like Bennett's ult.
Right.
Where like it either shoots or heals depending on how much HP you have standing inside of it. So I do think C1 is pretty important for her. Because it enables her Daruma to continue damaging and swirling.
Her Roomba?
Her Daruma.
Her Roomba?
Her Roomba.
We're saying the same thing.
It doesn't Roomba around though.
Well, if I use Genie, it does.
It makes me sad that my Sayu is not level 90, so my swirls only hit for 15k instead of 55. Instead of only hit for 1.5k instead of 5.5k. But yeah, I mean, the thing is though is that Sayu's hold E tap whirlwind kick is slower than Jean's, so she'll be taking up more field time if nothing else.
Which lowers her DPS.
I mean, yeah, lowers your. It means you have less in the swap team. That is like field time is very important.
Yep.
So that is a disadvantage she has over Jean in the swap team.
Fuck this guy.
Okay, fine.
He's
Fuck
annoying.
This guy in particular. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they're comparable, but like Sayu, and then Sayu is just like a healer sub DPS unit. I mean, it seems like so far building her EM if you have her high level is the better option than building her damage because of how often she swirls.
Right.
Like every single hold E tap E is 2 swirls. Her ult swirls 7 times or 8 times, whatever the number is.
Nice.
So, and then also since this E is a 6-second cooldown, you can theoretically get 2 to 3 in every single ult rotation. She does have some ER issues though, for sure. And Sack Sword is not that great on her because the Sack Sword can only proc on the Whirlwind kick, not the spin attack.
Okay.
So you can't like just spin into someone to guarantee Sack GS will proc.
Aren't there 2 hits on the whirlwind kick?
Yeah, there's only 1 hit on the whirlwind kick.
Oh.
Yeah. So you only get one. Yeah, you only get 1 hit to try to proc Sack GS, so it's not super consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Plus she has a 6-second cooldown anyway, so you're probably better off running Fav than Sack anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she swirls a lot. In fact, she might swirl out of any like standard sub DPS played animo, she might swirl the most actually. Even more than Sucrose, because unless you're normal attacking with Sucrose, Sucrose will get less swirls out per rotation than Sayu will. So EMs and also EMs her ascension stats. So like a level 90 Sayu with a full EM build is gonna be the highest damage sub DPS Sayu you can have. The only problem is you need to get her to level 90 because swirl scale with level.
Right.
But like, I mean, her healing's pretty good. Her swirl output's pretty good. Her Daruma being an off-field swirler also means you can keep VV up forever. And her Daruma does not infuse, which is a good and a bad thing. It means she can't act like Sucrose or Venti or Kazuha as like a reaction enabler, because her Daruma doesn't infuse. But it also means that you can like, if you ran her with like a Xiangling or something, you could keep Pyro, or you could keep like you could keep like a VV up of an element up constantly instead of like Sucrose's, which only happens like for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an animo turret. But all of this being said, the most fun way to run Sayu is in Sayunado, aka Hot Wheels.
No, it's Sayunado.
See, I like Sayunado. Kaching mains voted and decided it was called Hot Wheels.
No, fuck you, it's Sayunado.
But then the guy who was making the Sayu spreadsheet said, "Fuck you, I'm calling it Sayunado in my spreadsheets, and you can't stop me."
it's pronounced GIF. Fuck you.
LOL, basically. It's like how the creator of GIF says it's pronounced GIF.
It's GIF. Fuck you.
So for those of you who aren't already aware, Sayunado or Hot Wheels is where you run Sayu, and you can even practice this in the trial because they give you Xiangling, but you run Sayu with Xiangling, and then you spin to win as Sayu, but you rotate clockwise, so you're in the opposite direction of Xiangling's ult, and if you circle around an enemy with the proper timing with that, you can make Xiangling's ult hit that enemy 2 to 2.5 times as many times as it normally would. Because you're forcing Xiangling's ult to collide with them more frequently. And Xiangling's ult actually has a much lower collision internal cooldown than the actual full rotation of it. It's just normally it only hits an enemy once every 2 seconds because it's how long it takes to rotate.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you pop Xiangling ult, switch to Sayu, use your hold E, and then just spin around in the clockwise circle around the enemy, and you just force them to collide with Xiangling's ult repeatedly per rotation, and it's hilarious.
I mean, what are you doing?
It is hilarious.
You're doing like Bennett.
Yeah,
Sayu,
that's the problem with it is like you have to run Bennett, Sayu, Xiangling because you need a fun Xiangling, right?
And then I mean, I guess you could do like Mona.
You could do Mona. You could do Zhongli for even more res shred and a shield while Sayu does her fucking spin shit.
Could she get knocked out of her E?
She can die out of it.
Well, but like if she's in her E and she gets hit.
I haven't been knocked out of it by anything yet, but don't think I've been hit by anything that might be considered hard enough. I've definitely died out of it though, in the abyss. So like the issue with this comp, I think the biggest issue with this comp is that's why I've been thinking about even using like Xinyan with a sack sword as like as a fourth. Because, like, the hard part is, especially if you have a C4 Xiangling, you're doing a full 10 seconds of spin time on Sayu for this to comp.
Right.
Which means that you have, like, 8 seconds if you want to do, like, a 20-second rotation to recharge your Xiangling, which is really hard to do. It's really hard to do it in 8 seconds without, like, running really high ER on your Xiangling. And because your Xiangling is literally the only fucking damage on this team, you kind of want to run as little ER on her as possible.
Mm-hmm.
In the current floor 12, it's not a problem because, you know, the leyline disorder, you can run like a fucking 120 ER Xiangling, and with good enough micro, she'll ult every time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, realistically, funding Xiangling's ults, if you want to do, like, a full 20 seconds or 22-second rotation, is going to be difficult without having a lot of ER.
So you thinking running, like, 3 pyros?
Triple pyro might be a good option, but the only good pyro option for that would be like a Saxor Jinyan, because you can potentially get 8 particles out of a Saxor proc Jinyan double E. Fischl could also work for just base damage and turret damage while you're doing your shit, on top of, you know, off type production being very high. I don't know. It's an early concept. Sayunado is an early concept, so I don't know if there's enough testing yet on people figuring out this is the best Sayunado comp.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the core mechanic of Sayu being able to increase Xiangling's hit count on her ult is like the core of the comp that people have been enjoying.
I mean, Xiangling's tornado Pyronado does so much goddamn damage that making it hit 2 to 2.5 times more is
like you're not vaporizing it anymore, so it's not as big per hit, and you're not like you can't take advantage of her snapshotting EM for it, but like hitting 20k.
Well,
hitting 20k like once per second is hilarious.
I was gonna say, even if you can't vaporize it anymore, I mean 2 to 2.5 is a hell of a lot bigger than, you know, 1.5.
Yep. And then, like, on top of that, Sayu with a level 90 and full EM loadout is going to be swirling. Like, her spin E, how many times? I want to say it swirls, if you're continually hitting someone, it swirls every 1 to 1.5 seconds. I'm not exactly sure what the tick rate is on her E, but, you know, it'd be every 3rd hit. It swirls. I just don't remember what the tick rate is. So I guess every 3rd is a weird way of saying it, but it swirls on the 1st hit, and the 4th hit, and the 7th hit, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the tick rate is. It's either half a second. It feels like it's less than half a second, but I'm not sure if it is or if it's actually just half a second. Either way, she's swirling constantly, and you could be hitting like, you know, 5-6k swirls with the full EM build at level 90, on top of constantly VV shredding for your Xiangling.
Right.
So like, once if the energy issues for Xiangling can be resolved, then it actually has potential to be a pretty strong comp.
Right.
And it's by far the most realistic comp for running a Sayu on-field carry if you really insist on wanting to run a Sonic Speedo Desu like comp.
Yeah, because
if you really want to do
they're not gonna get
like, none of the other common sub DPSs are gonna do anything. Like a pure turret comp is not gonna do that much either, honestly.
Right.
Like, because the actual, like, DPS of her spin is not very high.
Right.
The whirlwind kick afterwards is pretty chunky, but, like, the actual DPS of a spin to win is not very high, and it's not really going to be any better for a swirl output than just, like, using sucrose to spam normal attacks.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, the reason why Kaya doesn't work is the way that his ult works is it basically pulses in a circle around you every 1 second. It doesn't actually need to hit the icicles, so it's not the same thing as Xiangling's.
I believe so. Yeah, like the way Kaya's works, I'm not actually 100% certain if it doesn't work with Kaya's. But like,
because they were doing some testing, and like you could get damaged by it, but not be hit by the icicle, which tells me that
exactly.
It's like a ring around you that pulses every 1 second or so.
So it's not even that it pulses every 1 second. It's when you make collision with Kaya.
Right.
So when you make collision with Kaya, theoretically it shouldn't work. I just haven't seen enough testing. I haven't seen like any definitive testing saying for 100% like there isn't some weird interaction that makes it work with Sayu. But the way Kaya's ult works is that your icicle doesn't have to hit someone. It's when someone gets into the range of the icicle, it hit confirms that someone's inside of it, and then it does an AoE splash damage around that target.
Right.
Which is why if you have 2 targets on the opposite side of Kaya standing in a circle, only one's gonna get hit by his ult.
Right.
because the AoE splash doesn't reach all the way around him.
Right.
So because of that hit confirm mechanic, theoretically, Sayu should not be able to increase his hit count because it still has the internal limiter determining when it can when it can register a hit count.
Right.
Theoretically, like I said, I haven't seen any like slowed down footage 100% confirming this, because who knows, maybe there's a weird coding bug with Sayu that makes it different or something.
Yeah.
But in theory, it should not work.
Yeah, and even if it somehow made slightly more, I couldn't imagine that, having Xiangling's ult off cooldown to run Kaya.
What's the point of the extra ice skill constellation? Yeah, it just makes the hit register faster.
Yep.
It makes it proc more quickly.
Yep.
But yeah, so Sayunado, fun. Go fuck around with it in the trial because it's really funny. And I'm really glad they put Xiangling in the trial because people can just try Sayunado out without actually having to like build a Sayu.
I wonder if they were like intentionally did it that way.
Maybe.
Like if they were like, oh dude, this is funny. Or if they're just like, throw in random
I
turret
guarantee
thing because funny turret thing.
I guarantee you Sayunado is not a surprise to MiHoYo because someone in the beta had to have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way someone did not figure out Sayunado in the beta when it literally took a few hours for Sayunado to become popularized in TC circles after her release.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, the idea of like increasing hit count on Xiangling has been a known thing for a while. It's just there was no practical way to do it other than running around an opponent with dashes for no reason.
Yeah.
Especially because, like Mona dashes can't turn well enough for it.
Right.
So there's no way that they didn't know that was a thing after the beta. I'm just glad that they intentionally put Xiangling out for that.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you're shocked at what game developers don't realize about their own damn characters.
Fair.
Look at League of Legends, dude.
Okay, yeah, but League also uses open betas, which are much harder to get good info out of. Open betas are just
200 years.
Open betas are good for aggregate data. They're not really good for like individual inputs.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair. Anyway, Sayu neat. I like Sayu. I'm just more than anything, I'm just super happy we have another healer because we need more healers, and I'm glad she's a good healer.
Yeah, and even
Like
if she doesn't power creep Jean, I mean, it's still comparable enough that like, well, if you had never had Jean, then well,
yeah,
there you go.
And like there are reasons why you would prefer Sayu over Jean. Like for example, the fact that Sayu doesn't have as much knockback. So if you just really don't like that's my issue with one of my issues with Jean. I just really don't like the knockback on her E. So I would personally rather run Sayu because Sayu doesn't have the knockback. As a personal thing though. Also Sayu can build EM, and I have 2 VVEM sets built already. So
yeah. Well, Sayu can also build attack or heal.
She can build attack as well. Yeah,
like attack.
Yeah. She still scales pretty well off of attack.
I'd say the biggest reason that she's nice
with an attack
is
build, but
probably like you can throw wolves on her.
Oh yeah, true. You can throw wolves on her for the team buff, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
If you have a wolves graves and don't want to run it. Yeah. And then like so far, weapon calcs have shown all the weapons to be pretty good on her because she has a pretty high ER requirement as well. If you want to be ulting off cooldown. And with how many times it swirls, it's not a bad idea to be ulting off cooldown with the EM builds.
Right.
Unlike Jean, whose ult honestly can just be used as an emergency heal.
Yeah.
So like because of that, like she needs like around 170, 180-ish ER. Which really can hit into her EM a lot.
Yeah. Do we finally have a use for Rain Slasher? Wow.
I think Blood Tainted's considered better than Rain Slasher, but Rain Slasher's still good. Because Blood Tainted has a higher EM substat, the 3-star weapon.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it has Blood Tainted I think has the highest EM out of a Claymore if I recall correctly.
Oh my god.
Does Overload screw up Sayonado? Kind of. Yeah, kind of. On bigger targets and like all the samurai units don't get overloaded back that far, so it's not a huge issue, but it definitely can screw up Sayunato because you want to be consistently spinning around the enemy, and so having to chase after them does kind of mess up a bit with your like whole spinny spin stuff. But yeah, so like Blood Tainted's good. Any EM Claymore is good, but so are ER Claymores. Both Fav and Sack also have their place because they help give her the little ER, help give her the ER she needs.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to run probably Fav on Pyronado.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, one of the big weaknesses of Sayu versus Jean, her particle production is not nearly as good. On a hold tap E, she only gets 2 particles, so. Her energy production is not as good as Jean's. That's a big disadvantage. Although it can be pretty good if you like spin into someone for long enough to get one of your particles to tick off of the spin and then do a whirlwind kick. And it's kind of like how a child generates energy, in that if you are doing like Sayunado's spin to win, she is constantly generating animo energy. Yeah, I guess theoretically, if you are hitting the first hit of your E, you're getting 3 particles, so it's 2 to 3 particles, just depending on like how good you are at the hold E, tap E timing. Oh, I guess which is an important thing to talk about with Sayu. You never want to tap E with Sayu, because hold E, tap E takes like a quarter of a second longer when you get good at the timing of it, but does like 30% more damage.
And no increase in cooldown.
So like, there is no reason to tap E on her. You should always be doing a hold E into a tap E. But the timing to do that fast is something you have to get used to, because it's easy to accidentally just tap E.
Or
E.
Just be tuner.
Just be tuner. Or just be tuner.
They were mad. They were mad yesterday on stream. It's like, God damn it, tuner.
What's the difference between building attack or EM on healer tuner? On healer side.
On healer tuner. I'm the
healer
new character.
Tuner.
I would absolutely be like an animo healer.
LOL, you would be.
100%, dude.
Oh, how ironic would it be if the character that was tuner became the Jean replacement?
No, yeah, like I mean, I would just be Jean. Let's be honest.
Yeah, true. But yeah, Sayu attack versus EM. Attack is better for heals. You get more healing out of an attack build on her. EM build gets more healing out of her Ascension passive, which makes her heal a little bit for the team anytime she swirls, but it's not that much. Especially, it's like, you know, it's like, what is it? It's like 300 plus like 2% of EM or something. 300 plus 1.2 HP for every EM point. So it's not that much healing from her swirls. It's a little bit. It's like, you know, it's like 1 or 2k every time she does her holdy tappy thing, which is like not terrible, but like it's not really enough. And her ults is very heavily attack focused for scaling. Like my talent 6 is the healing pulses. Ah shit. I got pulled out of my character screen.
Yeah, I kicked you out, so we can go to the next one.
Fine. It's fine. But the healing pulses are 792 plus 111.8% of attack. So attack is definitely important for her heal to be a big heal. But I mean, honestly, like healing, like with just like the base attack she gets with weapon and everything else, healing like 2k per tick is fine in my opinion. Especially if you're getting her to much higher talent level than 6. I honestly think it's fine. So I don't really feel the need to build an attack build on her personally for healing. I did run an attack build on her when I initially had her, because when she came out wasn't the day that was a talent day, so I was running her with talent 1s for like the entire first day.
Oh yeah.
So I was running an attack build then, but now that I have her at talent 6, I personally don't feel like I need an attack build. My base 1000 attack plus on the scaling is honestly enough for me. I'm healing like a little under 2k per tick, and that's enough. Especially because she heals an additional amount every time she swirls with her ult, so. That being said, EM build is dependent on her being high level, which is, you know, a thing, so. if you're not willing to build your Sayu up to a high level, ideally getting her to like level 90, then EM might not be worth it. Because like my full EM Sayu build is hitting 645 EM because I'm not using an EM weapon. It'd be hitting around 800 if I had an EM weapon on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only hitting like with 800 EM. I'm only hitting like 18k or 1.8k swirls. Because of the fact that I don't have high enough level yet. I'd be hitting like 5.5k swirls if I was level 90.
Mm-hmm.
So like the EM isn't a big. EM is not very good on her until you have her at high level, and that requires you to be willing to invest in her to like 80, 90, whatever.
Okay.
And then yeah, also as Vadris puts in chat, if you can get C6, EM becomes a lot better on her because everything scales with EM then at C6.
Oh, okay, cool.
In terms of like her constellations, I think C1 is really important.
Yeah.
C1 is really important. C2 is kind of useless unless you're running Sayunado. Basically, Sayunado makes it so that the damage of your whirlwind quick goes up the longer you're in your spin.
Right.
Up to 66%. C4 is actually really nice because it just gives you more energy every time you swirl. That's actually really nice because she has energy issues.
Yeah.
But that being said, it wouldn't be like I'm not saying you need to pull for C4, like, because that's a lot of pulling, frankly, especially if you get unlucky with your pulls. And then you might burn your pity on Yoimiya on accident, lol.
Rude.
LOL. I mean, that's why I pulled for Ayaka. I didn't want to burn my guarantee on Yoimiya. Although honestly, even if Yoimiya was like super meta or something, I still wouldn't want to pull for her because I don't need more carries.
True.
I don't care about having more carries. I just want more supports.
True. Very true.
But yeah, I do think C1 is worth the effort to pull for though, because basically Sayu's ult is either going to heal or attack depending on whether your character's above or below 70% HP. Mm-hmm. And C1 makes it heal and attack every single time, and I think that's a really big deal, honestly. So I do think that C1 is very much worth it, and especially since it's only C1. C6 is definitely something you only get if you really have a lot of pulling power, but it is pretty nice because it just increases the damage and healing on your ult based on EM, which is really nice. Makes your EM scaling much better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Sayu.
Yeah.
Enough Genshin talk.
we have like a thing. It's like we leave the first run, we can talk about Genshin. Then once we swap, we're done with Genshin.
We're done with Genshin. No more Genshin talk. We're out. And now suddenly, the YouTube watch retention is gonna plummet.
Yeah,
plummet. This is the point on the retention graph where it just fucking dips down.
But the fans. We thank the fans.
We thank the fans. Speaking of which, this video and podcast is sponsored
by the fans.
The fans.
Thank you guys for keep watching our shit.
Yep.
Guys, I don't know why. I don't know why.
Lamar said if I wanted Kazuha, or if I wanted supports, why didn't I pull for Kazuha? Because at the time I only had exactly 180 pulls worth of primos, so I wanted to save them in case a new future more interesting support to me came out. And now I regret it because I really want Kazuha. Yep. But then Inazuma gave me enough primos that I could guarantee an Ayaka and still have 180 pulls left over, so I did that.
Basically what he's saying is he's an idiot.
I'm a coward.
He's a coward and
I'm an idiot and a coward.
Who won't C6 his Bennett.
Yep. Yep, basically. But yeah. I kind of wish I had pulled for Kazuha, because I don't know. I don't know if a 5-star support's gonna come out for a while that'll outdo Kazuha in terms of like stuff I can do with him.
Yeah.
But it's just because I wanted to be on the side of cautious with it.
Yeah.
Kazuha is so heavily theory crafted, I know what he can do. I would like to be able to pull for an interesting new support that might come out. when they come out, but who fucking knows when that's gonna happen.
I've already said it. If I could go back in time, the only character I would have rolled for, only 5-star banner I would have rolled for was Kazuha.
Yeah, for me it's just Venti and Ganyu.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so I've had a question I've wanted to ask you for a couple of days now because I had this shower thought, and
Okay.
so does a console need enough games to be worth it? Because there's this concept that like the PlayStation or like the Xbox even they're not worth it because there's not enough games to play. But my thing about that is like if you, I mean, basically we're saying there's not enough things to purchase. This console doesn't have enough things to purchase in order to purchase it, which sounds really weird because every time you purchase something, you're going to be increasing the overall value or the overall cost of the product, which further moves the goal of it being worth it.
Yeah,
but that console is always going to be a sunk cost. Yep. So it's basically like you just don't even think about it being a cost because it's gone. If you want to play X game, you have to pay this price for the console. And I was wondering about your opinion on that.
So I think the core of this argument comes down to one very important detail, which is do you view the console purchase in the short term or the long term?
Right.
Do you view your console purchase as an investment or do you view your console purchase as an investment or as a short-term purchase?
Right.
Because in like part of the reason why like it's a problem maybe market-wise, and that's why release titles are so important for new consoles, is that a lot of people view it as a short-term purchase in the way that like the internet's raging about on the specific subject right now.
Right.
But if you look at it as a long-term purchase and as an investment, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't have games now because it's gonna have games, and you're gonna have this console for years.
Right.
Most people, but I think the fundamental,
PlayStation 4 for like what?
Still have them probably
7, 8 years.
Yeah, most people probably still have their original PS4 somewhere in the closet.
Right.
If they aren't using like me, mine is just sitting in the closet right now. So like, it's a long-term investment that's gonna last until there are games you want to get on this.
Right.
Until there are plenty of games you want to get on it, but you know, people don't always look at things in that investment way. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. It just depends on whether the individual views it as an investment or a short-term cost. Because if you're viewing it as a short-term cost and you're like, oh, I'm paying $600 to be able to play Ratchet and Clank and Returnal and that's it, yeah, maybe you don't consider it worth it then.
But my point
you're
is
viewing it as a short-term $600 cost for it.
Well, I guess my point is whether you're just playing Ratchet and Clank or there's 10 games to play, that PS5 is sunk. You are never going to not be paying that price.
I agree with you, and that's why like even though I say it depends on whether you view it as an investment or not, no matter what, it's an investment, right? Like no matter what, it is an investment. But whether someone is gonna get pissed about it or not, I think depends on how they view it. No matter what, it's going to be an investment. It's just but like whether someone gets angry on the internet about it or not is gonna depend on their view. It's gonna depend on whether they view it that way or not. I guess. Yeah. Because, like, I agree with you. It's always going to be a sunk cost. It's always an investment. There's no way of you really getting around having to pay that much if you want to play any of the games that come on the PS5 at any point.
Right. I guess just the concept that's bizarre to me, I guess, is like, I won't pay $600 for this console because there's not, like, $700 worth of games to buy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that in the shower, and I was like, I wonder what Jinx has to say about this.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. It's always going to be a sunk cost. It's always an investment to get a console, because you still have to pay for the games. But on the topic of people getting angry about it or people like not wanting to buy it because of it, that just, like I said, just depends on how they view it, whether they think about and like internalize the fact that it's an investment versus a short-term purchase.
Yeah.
I think the psychology of it is personally more interesting to me.
There's another thing that's like really interesting about the PlayStation is just like the PlayStation 5 can, if you have like a PS4, honestly, like selling your PS4 to buy a PS5 and like getting better frame rates and getting like faster load times on the PS5. You know, to some people that might be a worthwhile thing in and of itself. I've seen a lot of people say that they've been playing Monster Hunter on it, Monster Hunter World on it, and like they're just loving that they get consistent 60 the entire time.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's what I liked about PC Monster Hunter was like our consistent 100 frames and oh baby.
Right.
Oh baby, that was nice. Couldn't go back to PS4 after that fucking 30 frame bullshit. My eyes hurts.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be one of those, oh, my frame rate has to be so high types, but my eyes literally hurts going back to 30 frames.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anybody who says that there's not a difference between like 30
has
FPS
never
and
tried
60
it.
has never had.
Yeah.
60 FPS. They're like, oh, well, there's no difference between 60 and 120. Like, that's because you've never had 120.
You've never had a consistent 120, 140 frame rate. And you've definitely never gone like straight from a 140 but down to a 60, like one after the other. Like if you wait a few days, maybe you won't notice. But if you go straight from one to the other, it's so noticeable.
Oh yeah. No. If when I was going from like PC Monster Hunter to go over to a PS4 Monster Hunter, and like
I had to do for work related stuff.
Like, no.
Yeah, nah. My eyes.
Yeah. Speaking of Monster Hunter, the Legend of the Guild is coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And
I'm planning on checking it out.
It's about the excited A-lister, the guy with
everyone's
the
favorite side character.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I thought we should watch it. Like maybe do like a review of it for the channel. I don't know if that'd be.
I mean, we could try doing a review of it. We could both watch it and give our opinions on it.
Yeah, I wonder how many like episodes, how long it is.
Oh no, I'm stuck. Help, tuner.
What?
Help.
What?
I'm stuck.
What are you stuck on?
Okay. I got stuck inside the geometry. I couldn't escape in any direction.
Wow. Yeah, but no, I thought it'd be a fun thing to do for the channel is just like to review it. Like, I would have done that for the Monster Hunter movie that came out before, but that director's such an inconsolable piece of shit that I would never watch any of his movies. So.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we'll just fucking pirate it. I was like, I don't even want to like, because you know.
I don't want to take part in this.
I just don't want to take part of it.
I don't want to participate in any capacity, even if it is to mock.
Right. It's like, no, I don't. I felt so bad. I was like, you know, Yuri and Socks were like talking about it, and I just want to be like, that guy's a piece of shit.
Oh, well.
Yeah, negative attention is still attention. Yep. We're giving it negative attention right now. So,
bro, some people in chat, some people watching this VOD are gonna be like, "There's a Monster Hunter movie."
Yeah. But speaking of,
we will just in the future refer to it as that which shall not be named.
that movie that shall not be named.
Where
are you going?
Where am I going?
I don't know. Where are you going?
I don't know either. I was grabbing a crystal fly, and then I got lost.
Speaking of you not knowing where the hell you're going, Back for Blood was fun. It is coming back this weekend. Do you want to do it again?
Yeah, I'm down to try it again this weekend.
We never uploaded that VOD, did we?
No, we did not, but we still can.
Yeah, go find it.
Yeah, the VOD still exists. I can upload it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be much. It's gonna get viewed like at all, but fuck, we'll see. I guess.
Fuck it. You know what, dude? Fuck it. We're not making money off of YouTube anyway, so let's just upload whatever the fuck we want.
I mean, I'm at least breaking. At least YouTube is currently breaking even for my custom having Premiere every month.
Oh, just use Resolve. It's the industry standard.
Yeah, see, that would require me learning Resolve.
So I was helping like doing some stuff, and I tried to do stuff, and I was like gonna use Premiere, and like Jinx had to share Premiere with Jenny so she could do some like video stuff too. And so then like I had to learn Resolve, and Jinx was like, don't worry about it. Resolve is like the industry standard.
I mean, it is.
And so it's like every time I'm just like, oh, why don't you use Resolve? I was like, I don't want to learn it.
Because Premiere is also the industry standard. And I already know one of them. I mean, that's kind of always been the thing with video editing software. There's always like a handful of softwares that are considered the industry standard, and if you learn any of them, you're good. So it's like less of a matter of which one has like slightly better certain whatever features and more, which one do you already know? Because I'd have to spend a week learning Resolve, and I don't feel like spending a week learning Resolve to make podcasts.
Yeah.
I do know people who switch over to Resolve though because they go with the standard like bulk purchase thing. Buy it once, have it forever thing.
Yeah.
That Photoshop Premiere and all the other Adobe products used to do before they switched to a subscription service. So in the long run, it'd be cheaper for me to use Resolve. I just don't want to put in the time to learning Resolve.
I do want to take a moment.
I know. Yeah.
You can think of the fans of shit. Gamer just hit his 10,000 bit badge, which is $100.
Oh shit!
So, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Chat interactions.
He red boy. He's a red boy
Red
now.
boy. Oh damn, that red boy.
But yeah, so Back for Blood, really fun. It's Left 4 Dead 3.
It was really fun.
Yeah, and they just released NVIDIA just released like an optimization patch, so it should run even better. Because that was
Good.
one thing I was like I was like, is a little chunky sometimes, and I couldn't tell if it was just because you were playing with like Danny and he had like 100 ping and you had like 20 ping, and like
I mean, I was noticing my frames were like hitting around 90 consistently, which isn't terrible, but I prefer to be above the 100 range.
Yeah. So it should run even better this time, which is good. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just nice. It's just Left 4 Dead, you know? It's
a fun game to play with friends.
Yeah, it's a fun game to play with friends.
It's like Apex. I'd never play it solo, but it's a fun game to play with shitters.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you know, I believe you can get a hold of it for free. So give it a try. If you've ever liked Left 4 Dead, you're gonna like it. It's
Pretty sure it costs $60, but the beta is happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you can
There's
do
a
the
beta this weekend. There's a beta this week or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Today till I think Monday.
Yeah, today till Monday. Sounds right.
I guess I should say the 12th to the 16th because I don't know when this is coming out.
True.
Today is Thursday.
Back for Blood. He's
Hello,
fun.
people in the future.
Click zombie heads.
The past sucks.
Hello, future Jinx. I apologize for everything past Jinx have done to make your life more difficult.
Hello,
which is a lot.
Hello, future tuner. Your boss is fuck. you. Oh God, I'm gonna fucking. I had no stamina. I regret everything. Never mind. Future tuner, I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, Back for Blood was fun. I see next up you have FF14.
Yeah, so I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 again recently. So this is
I noticed you've been doing that on streams.
this is just kind of my call out to like if anybody wants to do
tuner climbing.
Yeah, I gotta climb. I ran out of stamina. So I don't know. This is like if anybody's interested in FF14. It's like very much learning the game. I don't know if we'll do like a free company or something, but I'm on Crystal, so doing that. So there's instruments in Final Fantasy XIV. You can play instruments.
Oh.
In a lot like in the same way that you can play like the lyre or whatever in Genshin.
Sure.
Except it's way more in depth.
Gotcha.
Way more in depth. And apparently you can hook up a MIDI keyboard to your computer and control it via the MIDI computer.
Really?
And so now I was like, oh shit, how do I get an instrument? They're like, you have to be a bard. You have to level a bard. So you have to level an entirely separate class in order to play an instrument. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to fucking just
That's amazing.
And I'm like, okay, I got my MIDI keyboard in front of me. I've got a MIDI interface like that I can hook it up to. And so
Side note, Tuner will be the first bard in history to not be a horny fuck.
Oh, true.
The first ever not horny bard. Continue.
Is that like a thing in D&D? Like every bard has
That
to
is
try to
the
fuck dragon?
stereotype.
Oh, I see.
Like the stereotype in D&D and fantasy games is the bard is always horny. The thief is the thief is always a klepto and a liar.
Okay.
And then the paladin is always self-righteous. The warrior is always no-brain. Like there are these archetypes of this is what the standard one is like, and the bard is always horny.
What if you have a paladin that worships Slanesh?
They're still high and mighty. They just worship Slanesh.
So
They're just covered in piercings and rubbing their nipples instead.
We're
and talking about how great it is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay.
But they're still high and mighty and telling you about how amazing Slanesh is and how great it is to be under the god of pleasure.
Horny is putting it lightly. Think more danger to public safety.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Okay.
I want to fuck the barmaid. Really? Rolls. I rolled a 19 to fuck the barmaid.
I want to fuck the dragon. Roll a 20. Rolls a 20.
Looks at you. GM. Face plants. Basically.
How do you
that's
proceed?
Basically, that is what it's like to play with a bard.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, no, I'm just there to play music.
LOL, actual barding,
Yeah.
SMH.
Yeah, I'm just there to play music. Music, frankly, music is better than sex. I'll just be honest.
LOL.
And if you disagree, you don't know how
If
to
you
play
disagree, you don't have to play an instrument, or you're not an asexual. Either of these are valid.
Oh, shit. Fucking. Speaking of having too much goddamn sex, Archer. Wow, what a good segue that was.
Yeah, nice. Wait, is the new season out?
Not quite yet, but they've been doing the
okay.
teasers. I think it comes out
Oh.
this month, like on the
Isn't
20th.
this supposed to be the final season?
No, but I mean, it's obviously certain people are not going to be in it anymore.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
there she's definitely like Mallory is going to be in it for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm very curious to how they will handle it because they had that Woodhouse episode that was pretty
Yeah, exactly.
pretty sweet. It was nice.
Oh shit, this guy just fucking destroyed Razor.
Where are you at?
I was fighting the big boy.
Oh, by yourself.
And then I somehow got like, I got like 80% health in a single hit.
Oof.
I'm not exactly sure what killed me, but something killed me.
Well, I got to heal, but you got to heal too, so.
Yep, I just burned my Sayu's heal too. What the fuck? You teleported on my map. One sec. Alright, raise it back up.
I'm on the rock.
Yeah, no, it teleported you on my mini map to the south for some reason.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
But yeah, Archer. I'm excited. Apprehensive. I hope they I hate to say this. I hope they destroy him with this.
Yes.
Like, I
same.
hope Archer just gets destroyed.
Yup.
I want to see some feels, man. I want.
Yup.
It's one that good shit. I want to see some Rick committing suicide in his garage levels of like just being
Yep.
fucked up.
Yup.
As terrible as that sounds, but
I mean, fitting though.
yeah.
Fitting.
No,
Yep. I'm excited to see how they handle it.
yeah. But
I got wrong. Oh fuck! I went to the wrong place. Right.
you went to the
There's
wrong one.
right. Noblesse. I haven't been to the Noblesse domain in like months.
yep. Same. But and then also Rick and Morty and Tuca and Birdie are having their season finales this weekend.
I thought Rick and Morty wasn't coming back until September.
What? It's like an hour-long special.
Yeah, it's an hour-long special. I thought it was coming. I thought it was happening in September.
Oh well, okay. Either way, they're on their
Yeah.
last episodes. So
Yeah.
I know
I watched.
Tuca and
There was
Birdie
a
this weekend, right?
teaser from Adult Swim for the finale, and they said it'll be returning on September 15th or something.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
yeah, I might have misunderstood what they were saying, but I'm pretty sure that's what they meant.
Well.
Shrug. Can look into it at some point. I don't know. People can look into it.
Yeah, Tuca and
My
Birdie.
Sayu needs friendship points. Let's murder these fucks.
Oh, okay. Did you happen to watch the new Tuca and Birdie?
The one where Tuka's like, I'm moving out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sad. I hope.
Yep.
I'm just getting a feeling like
I'm
it's,
calling it now. I'm calling it now. Season finale is gonna be Tuka breaking up with Birdie.
Oh no.
That I'm calling it now. That's the season finale, and next season's gonna be about the reparations.
Oh no. Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to explore what it looks like when what it's like when a friend gets into a toxic long-term relationship, and that
Yeah.
is a very common trend in them. Is that they isolate their partner from their close friends and family,
Yeah.
which is what Kara's already been doing. But that would be like I don't know, for a season finale. I feel like that would be appropriate, you know,
Yeah. Well,
be an appropriate story beat.
See, I don't. Last season of Tuca and Birdie didn't like do that kind of like.
True.
So I don't. I don't know. It's not
If
like it's
the-
gonna be an
yeah.
hour long or something. So if it was an hour
Yeah,
long,
exactly.
then I could see them maybe doing both.
Yeah, I mean, as I understand, they've already been confirmed for a third season.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not like they have to leave us on a cliffhanger or something,
Yeah,
or they have to resolve things nicely.
Yeah.
So they could go either way with it. It's just like I said, that's my thought on it. Is I think that's how it's gonna go.
I kind of hope not. Like I hope.
mean,
I hope there's. I hope. Frankly, I hope she fucking dumps Kara.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the nice ending. But I've never been an optimist.
I mean, that'd be the good ending.
That would be the good ending. Yep.
Oh, well.
But in all games, the good ending isn't always the true ending.
God fucking damn it.
You.
I don't want it, dude. I don't want it.
Yep.
No, I'm hoping it's gonna be like it spends like the first fucking 5-10 minutes or whatever being like, oh yeah, it's great, and then it's terrible, and then like Birdie has to go rescue.
Yeah, it's also a potential story.
Because
beat.
Tuca's always rescuing Birdie.
True.
It'd be a nice like flip.
Role reversal. Yeah.
Where. Because like it's kind of been like this whole thing where like it's like, oh, Tuca doesn't have problems. Tuca doesn't have problems. Tuca doesn't have problems. And,
Tuka
like,
deals with her own shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuca deals with her own shit. Tuca deals with her own shit, and then it just like she doesn't realize she needs help, and
Yep.
then she gets some help, and it'd be good. And that's what I
Yeah.
want. And I want it to
Yeah.
be good.
Tuna wants the nice soft ending. I want the horrendously tragic one.
Please. Oh fuck. So I mean,
LOL.
what's new with you in general?
Not too much really. Been working. Been developing some friendships with some coworkers, which is nice.
Yay!
Yay, friends. I mean, it's one thing I've really been liking about going back to work, especially in person. Because even before, like, I know this has been a problem for everyone in COVID, where like that lack of like human connection.
Yeah.
But for me, it started sooner because I started working on YouTube stuff before COVID happened, and that's when I kind of ended up just by nature of the work isolating myself a lot from like, I still hung out with some of my real friends, like my IRL friends, my in-person local friends and whatnot. But like not as frequently, and I wasn't meeting any new people or making new connections since then. So it's been like 3+ years since then. So it's nice to be building like new connections with new people again. You know?
Yeah, and that's what
Making new friends.
that's something I'm so happy for you is because like I was in charge of the community and you for some reason just never wanted to be involved with the community.
Yeah, no.
So like you were basically by yourself.
Other
I
than my
could at
like
least talk to
theory
these-
crafting friends I chatted with, but yeah,
I could talk to these shitters,
yeah,
in the stream, but you just like you were just never about that. You never wanted to stream.
It's probably the reason why I hung out on Fledgies a lot though, just so I'd have some like human interaction with peeps in voice chat.
Right.
But yeah,
And well, I mean, I'm even talking like back to Monster Hunter.
true, yeah.
And you
Although
know,
back in
and
Monster
you,
Hunter was when we still had Jakey.
Oh, I miss Jakey.
I miss JKE. Anyway, continue.
But and then like you used to go to parties and stuff, and you used to go to like all random shit. And
Yeah, I
like,
used to be incredibly sociable.
Yeah, and I never was. So, like, I think the isolation didn't affect me as much as it affected you.
Oh
And
yeah,
so,
for sure.
I'm really happy that you were able to go back to something where you're talking to people and you're interacting with
Thanks.
people and
Yeah, it's nice.
go out and get some sunlight, you fucking nerd.
Lol.
Lived next to the fucking YMCA for fucking years and never
Lol.
didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I think the next step to becoming a real human again is for me to kind of fix up my sleep schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Because like right now with like the way my sleep works, I don't really get like even though I'm only working one shift a day, that's my entire day basically.
Right.
Because I'm waking up too late to do anything in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I get back from work
home,
too late to do anything in the night.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like if I wanted to go to the gym or hang out with people or go on like dates with other people or things like that, that's just not really a thing that I am able to do right now because of my schedule and because my days off are like locked off right now.
Yeah.
Like my weekday day off is my date day with Jenny, and then like my Sunday nights off is like my friends and family day.
Right.
So like unless I can do stuff and like ideally I would want to be able to work like 1 or 2 morning shifts a week so I could have more evenings or full days off if I work doubles.
Right.
But right now like I don't have the ability to like I don't have the ability to do anything else other than work and those 2 days off really. Just because I wake up too late and I stay up too late.
Yeah. A little more time there, and you could probably like change your schedule up a little bit. I know they like to lock new people into one schedule for a while, and then eventually.
I mean, like I don't really have I don't think it'd be difficult for me to arrange for a schedule change. It's more a matter of I wouldn't be able to do a schedule change right now because of my sleep.
Oh, well, that's also true.
Yeah, like I mean, I specifically asked only for night shifts when I started working here.
Oh.
Because of the fact that I knew I wouldn't be able to wake up in time to do a morning shift, especially functionally.
See, that's weird. When I wake up, I'm good. Like, if you woke me up at 6 a.m. today, and I got out, and I'd be like, I'd be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. Different people.
Yep. Like I'm not functioning on a lot of sleep right now, and there's definitely some higher brain functions that aren't working super great right now.
Weird.
Even though I'm chugging caffeine to compensate.
Maybe it's because I've never had caffeine.
Yeah, might be part of it.
That I can just like exist without it because I don't need it. Caffeine in my water? Never had it? Haha, never will.
LOL.
Oh, fuck. Nothing else going on?
No, not really.
Okay.
Ooh, I could talk about me processing an interesting emotion last week.
Oh, do tell.
So like, I mean, part of the whole therapy thing, right, is processing emotions I have.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that's kind of difficult for me because one of the issues with my like particular expressions of my mental illnesses and my depression and whatnot is like avoidance and emotional numbness.
Yes.
So actually processing an emotion properly is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But basically, for a while, when I was on YouTube and it recommended videos from like Ziox, my brain would get like irrationally pissed.
Right.
And like, to be clear, I have absolutely nothing against Ziox. In fact, if nothing, I have respect for him because he works with Zajef, and I have a huge amount of respect for Zajef. So by, association, I have respect for Ziox because Zajef vouches for him, essentially. But for some reason, my brain would just get like irrationally pissed off when I saw Ziox's videos. And after like sitting with it, and like part of like processing emotions is you need to like actually sit with the emotion and feel it and figure out like what's going on with it. Like my brain's instant reaction to bad emotions is avoidance, where I'll go play video games or distract myself with something and not have to not have to feel the emotion basically.
Uh-huh.
And so like that's what I normally would have done, but I actually like sat with and processed it. And why won't my phone alarm turn off? 1 sec. Okay. And so I actually sat with it and processed it, and I realized like a lot of the of me being pissed off came from jealousy.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't just like, because Ziox has become like progressively more and more successful in like the Genshin YouTube space, right? Which is, you know, good for him. And like, it wasn't even necessarily specifically the success that I was jealous of, because we've had success similar to his in the past. It just, you know, fucking destroyed me doing it.
Yeah.
What I realized was more the core of that jealousy was that I was jealous of the fact that he seems to genuinely enjoy what he's doing and be built for YouTube work.
Yeah.
Like with his upload schedule, with the kind of like with how he is in his videos and all this kind of different stuff, like he seems to be genuinely built to do YouTube work and enjoy it. And that's a lot of what I was jealous of, because it's a really hard pill to swallow to come to terms with the fact that of what we talked about of I'm just really not built for YouTube work.
Yeah.
Like the lifestyle makes me miserable. The lifestyle of the work is what makes me miserable. Even if I enjoy video editing, I enjoy theory crafting, I enjoy teaching, the actual like lifestyle of the job is what makes me miserable.
Yeah. It's a very nose to the grindstone kind of thing. Like
nose to the grindstone, hustle sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's days I don't want to stream, but I still know that if I don't stream, then somebody watches somebody else's channel and maybe they just never come back.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you stream anyways.
Yeah. And like I don't really, and like it's just difficult pill to swallow that A, that makes me miserable, and B, I don't really have the self-discipline to like force myself to do that kind of thing as well. And when I do, it makes me like incredibly miserable to do so.
Yeah.
And it makes me incredibly miserable to not do it, because now I feel incredibly guilty for not working. Because I unhealthfully, and I'm working on it, but attach so much of my self-value to my productivity as a person.
Yeah.
So like it was, so like I realized a lot of it came from that, but on top of that, I realized that I'm like still in the process of grieving a dream, because like being a content creator had been a dream of mine for so long, since like my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I finally had the opportunity to and success in being one.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I was excited about, you know, being able to do this as a full career and becoming like successful and like all that kind of stuff in it and everything. Like I was excited about all of that stuff, and that dream is dead. And I'm still in the process of grieving the death of like a dream I've had for so long, that, you know, at the end of the day ended up being a dream I couldn't realistically actualize, because it's not a dream it's not like a life that was healthy and good for me.
Yeah. It's not that you didn't have the skill to actualize the dream, because you had the skill, you had the knowledge.
It just wasn't a good fit.
Yeah, the fit.
Yeah.
The fit though. That fit though.
The fit though. It's like a concern I have about, like, you know, if I were to go back to school for engineering is the same thing. It's like, I know I would be good at engineering. I know I would enjoy engineering, but like, would I enjoy the lifestyle of being an engineer?
Yeah.
Would I be able to do the 9 to 5? Would I be able to do all this stuff that is still an important part of being an engineer? And I don't know. Because I, at least currently, cannot see myself ever really functioning in a 9 to 5.
Speaking of Tuka and Birdie, speaking of engineer.
Yeah.
That's actually a problem I had with architectural engineering. Because at some point I realized, like, I'm not going to make houses that I want to make. I'm going to make houses that other people want. And sometimes those people have trash taste. You made a bad house with your trash taste.
But yeah, I processed that emotion.
Back my engineering.
LOL.
I'm sorry.
But
I don't know if you've seen that Isaac meme. It's funny.
But I processed that emotion properly, and now I no longer get irrationally pissed off when I see Ziox's videos on my feed. Yay.
Yeah. I mean,
because I processed the emotion and my brain learned to let go.
But it's a thing though, you know, it's
my
like
brain learned to grieve my dream.
you can sit there and you go, well, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Like, why are
Well, that's because it's always the way I approached it previously when I was a content creator was the analytical approach. What are they doing that I'm not doing? Am I willing to do certain things? Like, am I willing to clickbait harder? Am I willing to do like less, at least, in my view, less complete assertions of things?
Mm-hmm.
Like are these things I'm willing to do? Which, as part of the whole like me quitting thing, we talked about how like I'm not willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If like conclusions aren't up to my standards of rigor, I'm not willing to like talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate because if you want success in the Genshin space, you need to be willing to do day one videos.
Yep, day one videos. And that's another reason why like people are like, oh, well, why doesn't Tuner just make videos? Like, frankly, fucking speaking, I don't want to pull for every fucking character in this game anymore. I just don't. I don't. You know what? I know that I could make, put the videos out and I'd make my money back. I just don't want to spend more money on this game.
Yep.
But I know it's an investment to make more money. You got to spend money to make money, champ. But nope,
Yep.
I don't. I haven't spent money on this game in like fucking 6 months.
Yep. But yeah. So yeah, that was a thing that happened last week.
Well,
And
good,
I am
man.
slightly healthier for it. Yay.
Yeah,
Therapy.
I know you had been feeling a type of way about it.
Yep.
Well, that's very good.
Still grieving the whole YouTube thing. Still think about it sometimes. Still feel sad about it, but that's the grief process.
Out videos, dude. This is a big scam to hold over on our SEO.
LOL.
While we figure out how we're gonna restructure and we'll come back even stronger. We're just uploading
I'm back
these
stronger than ever.
We're just holding the SEO down with these podcasts, man.
Yeah. I also realized that part of the reason why like Xiox in particular was like the one that did that for my brain, because like Asian Guy, Genshin, Tectone, like all these other creators didn't really ever do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because like Xiox does such a similar thing to what we did.
Yeah.
Like character guides and all that stuff, but also because his character guides are backed behind like the mathematics from Zjef and everything.
Yep.
So I guess my brain kind of made it more of a direct one-to-one comparison sort of thing.
Right. And I mean, there's like other content creators. They literally self-proclaim. They've never done them for a spreadsheet. They don't know anything about the math. They don't care about any of that shit. They just have their own personal feelings, and it's not backed by any kind of rigorous science or testing. They're just saying, you know what? Fuck you. This is my opinion, and that's it. Like.
Yep.
Which I can say one way or the other about how I feel about that, but.
Yep. I mean, I can respect that as long as they're upfront about that.
Yeah, and it's when they do that and then frame it as like the fact.
Frame it as the absolute truth, yes.
Which there's quite a few.
I have discovered this particular spot of the rock consistently gets Sayu trapped.
Well, does she have like Mona Dash? Is that
like, it seems to be the same like traveling mechanics as like Mona Dash and Ayaka Dash. I've noticed I get caught on the same shit as I do on both of those.
I see.
However, unlike them, Sayu can jump out of her.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit! It absolutely changing the game.
Yep.
This is huge.
This changes everything.
This changes everything, dude. Yeah. All I got for me is I got my car back from the shop. After that accident I had a month ago, and the fuckers damaged my car while they were repairing it.
Yeah.
They scraped the front of the bumper. And like just took a big gouge out of it where the bumper meets the hood.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, luckily the plastic is black plastic and my paint job is black too. So like it's not super noticeable from a distance, but I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And of course they're like, oh, well, it's a paint lamination issue, or it had to have been that way before it was brought in. I'm like, it's right next to my door latch for my hood to open. You're telling me for the past month I've been opening my hood and shit, and I haven't noticed that there's a huge gouge out of my car. Really? That's what you're trying to tell me? Okay, sure. Yep. And fucking my guitar. I was telling you about the guy who makes my guitar pickups. He got like the and he actually is like back at work now. Still paralyzed on the side of his face. apparently can't hear. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize like being paralyzed on the side of your face goes this far. Like he can't hear out of that side of his head, and like he can't like close his eye, and like when he sees, apparently it's like a fishbowl and shit. Like I didn't realize getting paralyzed out of that side of your face like did so much.
I see.
It's not something I've ever been informed about. You know, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You know, but he he apparently can still use his hands and shit. It's only his face, which is strange to me. I could see like an entire side of your body, but like just your face. Is your face controlled by like different muscle or like different parts of your brain than your body? I guess I don't know.
Probably. I mean, like I know that there are stroke victims who have issues with like facial muscle nerves.
Yeah.
So maybe something similar. I don't know. I have an incredibly basic understanding of neuroscience, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have an understanding of neuroscience.
Yep.
But yeah, he saw that we'd been trying to contact him for like 2 weeks, and so he like rushed out. My order was the first one he did, so I'm gonna get my guitar back today with the new pickups in them. So
nice.
You'll be good.
I keep getting stuck on different parts of this rock.
I don't have a Mona to join you in being stuck. I apologize.
LOL. It's fine.
Yeah, man.
So
I know you got to get going for work.
Yeah, it's like 2:11. I gotta head out.
Yeah, it's already late because somebody slept in for 30 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Ooh, new spot of the rock I got stuck on.
You got to put an alarm at the other end of the room, and then you got to put an alarm in a different room that goes off at the same time.
The problem is I'm really good at ignoring those and going back to sleep. I did that for a while, and
while
then
the alarms are going.
Yes.
Well, then you need to get an alarm clock that just keeps going.
They do. I can sleep through them.
You just sleep with the siren going on for like an hour.
Yes, I have done that, and then Jenny has to come upstairs and turn it off because she can hear it.
No. So then you get one of those things that like dumps a bucket of water on your head. Or what's that one alarm clock that woman made that like just slaps her in the face?
That would be great. I need that.
I don't remember her name, but okay.
It seems like this entire edge of rock just has the ability to lock my Sayu in place. Okay, well, thanks for joining in for the podcast, guys.
Appreciate it. And thank you very much for the we got a few subs. Pixie gifted like 5 subs. Stormhawk had 10 months. We had a raid from Migo, and Gamer did 1,200 bits, which gave him his red bit badge. So thank you very much, guys. I know I don't call those out during the thing, but thank you very much. And we'll see how that new chat box works out. I hope that
yeah, I hope it works out too. I hope people like it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just end the stream now-ish at so 1:44, and we'll see how that works out.
Okay.
I guess what we should say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye to everybody. Bye. Okay, so yeah, 1:45.
Okay, cool.
1:45.
1:45. Cool. 1:45. Okay, coolio.
Yeah,
I need to get this. Let's see, this video's uploaded now.
Yeah, and I don't think you can get it downloaded or anything, but you know, by the time you get to work, but you wouldn't want to upload it today anyways.
I'll probably have it uploaded tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get this last podcast uploaded today. I might have to end up getting it uploaded like later tonight when I get back though.
Okay.
So there's probably gonna be like a 12-hour difference between these uploads coming up, but whatever, I guess.
Whatever. Did you
whatever?
Did you get the silence cut out?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
I cut out the long silences around that part of the time.
Yeah. I was just letting you say your thing. I was like, you were still on.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate that you had the thing open today, because.
Yep.
I was gonna remind you, but then I forgot to remind you.
LOL.
So. But.
Yeah, right now my third monitor doesn't work, so everything has to be on my second monitor.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably get it to work. I just have been too lazy to fuck around with it to get it to work.
No. I see.
There was some weird thing with the DP port not working on it, so I don't know. It's probably a very fixable problem. I just haven't gone around to it because I'm kind of just like, why do I need a third monitor right now?
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't want to talk about it because it was like, I don't know, political or some shit. I don't want to get people all riled up about it. But I got my first shot yesterday.
Nice. Yeah, my coworker was talking about how if they called it the COVID shot instead of the COVID vaccine, it'd probably have a much higher vaccination rate.
Yeah.
Because like the word vaccine makes so many people like stupid.
Yeah.
Like they don't call it the flu vaccine, they call it the flu shot.
Yeah.
And like if they call it the COVID shot instead of the COVID vaccine, there's at least some of those people who will be getting vaccinated because we didn't call it the vaccine. Shrug.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Jinx.
Bye.
Have fun at work.
Yep.
Oh. How we doing, everybody?